Okay, so we're going to continue with this exercise here, and with formatting. Let's get rid of this silly Gary squared, and let's create a nice looking table. So I'm going to format this, make it boldface. I can make it larger if I want to for the titles. Let's make it highlight everything. Just click up the upper left and drag down to the lower right, and just click up here and let's do times. You can type that in, by the way, if you highlight it and type it in. And then let's make this let's make this 12. All right, now this isn't fitting and this is too much space, so let's come up here, and if you put the cursor in the title, remember in the title row, click and drag, highlight the 3 columns, and now I'm going to make it to the double arrow and double click, and it automatically fits to the data. Now let's center this top row because they're titles, and now let's also add some borders. Now I can add the borders using this button right here if I want to. I could highlight that and right click and get that very involved dialog box if it ever comes here. There it is. So I can go to borders and see now, right now it says all of the cells have borders on them. I could do a different outside border by changing, see. So now the external or the outside borders are different. Okay. All right, so now let's what are we going to do now? Oh, how much is budgeted total? Well, you know, sometimes that's important, right? So let's make that a little bigger, and I want to put the total amount budgeted right here in this cell, say C12. So to do that, I'm going to come up here, instead of putting a dollar amount in or a number, I'm going to put a formula. Now I can type in the formula. I'll show you a couple of different ways of doing this. So I can click in the formula bar and type equals sum, open parentheses, and then tell it what values to sum. Click and drag here. Close parentheses, return, and that's the total. There's a different way of entering that. Let's get rid of that. Come back here, C12. I can click on this function button, and that gives me all of the functions that are available. This most recently used, I used a sum function. Now that, if I just click on that and come down here, if I double click on that, you can see that it automatically knows I want, or assumes I want, all of the numbers that are listed above me. But this C11 isn't one that I want because there's no numbers in it. So I can just come over here and do that and hit the return. You see, so I don't have to remember the syntax or anything. All I have to do is just find the function in the list. Okay, so let's do some other stuff. Let's go to now, I haven't mentioned this before, but as I said, Excel is just a collection of tables with columns and rows. We've been in this table, this large, very large table called budget. See down here, there's a tab called budget. Now, I actually have 3 tabs in this file. I can there. If I click on this grades tab, and see I have some data that's in here for grades. So I took this course, the title, the number of hours, the credit hours, the grade I got, and so forth. Okay, so I can do some stuff with that. Let's say I'm interested in the quality points of my grades for each course. Well, I'm going to use a formula for that. So first of all, let's create a new column here called quality. Quality points, and this is equal to, so put the thing in the cursor in the formula bar, type equals, and I'm going to multiply the hours See, it's in C2, and I'm going to multiply, so asterisk times E2, the number grade. And when I'm done, that gives me my quality points for this course. Okay? And you can see it's C2 times E2. Now, if I copy that and copy it over here, oh, wait a minute, what happened? Well, let's look at the formula. It says E3, G3. Well, where's E3? E3 is 1, 2, 3 over in the same row. This formula says multiply the contents of the cell that's 3 over in the same row, C2, times the contents of the cell that's 1 row or 1 column over in the same row, E2. So that way, when I copy it, it just keeps track of relative positions. So when I copy this and copy it down a column, for example, it automatically just updates for each row. Right? So this is the quality points for this row, this is the quality points for them. Okay, now if I want to copy this somewhere else and I don't want relative addressing, I can come in here and I can control that. So if I put a $ in front of the column, that'll nail that column in. So wherever I copy it to, the column will always be the same. If I put a $ in front of the number, that will nail in the row value. So let's do that. So if this one now has absolute addressing for C2, and E2 will change. Watch. If I copy that, see, it's still C2, but the G5, the E2 changed to G5. Okay. So now let's do this next thing here. What are we going to do? We want to copy the formula. We did that. Okay. What's your GPA? Well, your GPA is the total quality points divided by the total hours. That's what GPA is. So we need a sum here. Let's do sum. Hours. And sum quality points. Right? And the GPA is a formula that says quality points divided by hours. That's your GPA right now. There's an easier way to do this, but we'll do it later. Or I'll show you how to do it, a real shortcut later. Okay, so I think that's probably good for this video. Next video we'll do functions.